So why would you starve yourself of seeing your interest, you know, and you're not seeing whether you have something that's going to expire so you need to handle. So like go.hex.com is a better place for a Hexican to spend their time than looking at these stupid ranking sites where I don't think there's upside to it, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's a good question. Good question. Thanks, bro.
Sorry, Richard.
Sure.
Are you thinking to make a stable coin?
I am, yeah, but it's to bet it's just going to be one that's banked by, you know, backed by a bank or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's just time consuming because
And
it's all
have you ever
regulatory.
thought about Hex Gold?
Say again?
Have you ever thought about Hex Gold?
Gold kind of sucks, bro. I mean, you're still down from 10 years ago, right? So like if you bought gold, you're down from 10 years. So you're talking about like gold backed.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, gold sucks.
Physical gold. Yeah.
Yeah, I've thought about it, but it just is a terrible investment. You would have been better off in dollars.
All right.
Dollars outperform gold.
And do you think that USDT Tether is too big to fail?
No, there's nothing too big to fail. Dollar can fail.
All right.
Too big to fail is not a thing.
So then if they fail,
Yeah.
how long it takes to the market to recover?
Well, you're assuming the market would go the wrong direction. If Tether failed, so I'll explain to you a situation where Tether failing is good for crypto. You hear that your exchange, that you've got some Tether on, let's say $1 million of Tether, and you just have $1 million of Tether sitting on exchange. You hear Tether's going to fail. What do? You start selling that shit before it goes to zero for anything else you can get. Okay, and what else can you get? Other crypto.
Yeah.
That it doesn't have counterparty risk. So if Tether were to actually fail, and there was rumors of it, people would on-ramp to real crypto. So they would pump the price of anything that wasn't Tether. Now, after that initial price pump, maybe there'd be some aftershock where people lost a little bit of faith in the system. But why would anyone have faith in Tether in the first place? We already know it's been fractionally reserved. We already know they got jacked for 600 million by a Polish bank. So it's not like anyone has this idea that it is someplace that's super safe to leave your money. They accidentally print $1 billion to Tether every once in a while, then they have to then they have to like take it back. They're like, oops, we minted too much by accident, right? And then, yeah, it's just, I don't think Tether failing would be bad for crypto at all.
Would
I
you
think
have a time frame for that?
when they might fail, they might never fail.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, you have to understand, like, when is there ever going to be a bank run? And if there's no bank run, they could have severely low actual reserves, and no one would ever know or care because it still just maintain its peg. And as long as it maintains its peg, no one cares. So you may not ever detect any type of failure in USDT unless there's regulatory that forces it to fail, or there's a bank run on it hard enough to cause it to actually start hitting its reserves to a degree where they can't hold peg anymore. And then the last time they had a problem, they just had an ICO. They had the Leo ICO for Finex, which basically its sister company owns Tether, the same directors, same owners, all that stuff. So, you know, they bailed out Tether with $1 billion ICO from Finex with Leo and seemed to work fine, right? I mean, as fine as not telling everyone about the emergency fractional reserve was, but so no, I would prefer to have a counterparty that I had more faith in. So I would love to start a stablecoin myself where I can have a relationship with the bank and be like, yeah, don't screw me, I'm your client. But with Tether, their bank could screw them, the government could screw them, regulatory could screw them, or they could screw themselves, and then all of those parties can screw you, and you're at the long chain of a human centipede. Like, it's not good. Is that a movie, The Human Centipede? No.
Unfortunately, someone thought of that.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. So I would prefer less counterparty risk by reducing the number of levels of people that can screw you. So if I had a stable coin, I think there would be less levels, but we'll see, right? Like, banks, there's not that many that want to touch crypto, so you don't really have a lot of options.
So
Who's else got a question?
I have a question about defending the pulse chain narrative in some ways.
Which one?
So Hex, for the past couple of years, we understand the product as we get
Yep.
more familiar,
Mm-hmm.
and then we can explain that concept.
Yep.
And then now there's so much that's interest and buzz and excitement about pulse chain.
Yeah.
But it's the network and the highway, not the vehicles on it. So we do see people like, whether it's NFTs that you don't really love, or
Yeah.
we see
Yeah.
products that come back and revive because
Yeah.
they were priced out on Ethereum,
Yeah.
and they weren't good to begin with in
Yeah.
Ethereum,
Yep.
but they're going to migrate.
You're
How do
going
we
to see a
defend
world
the
of horror.
brand?
You're going to see a world of rug pulling horror
Yes.
on Pulse Chain.
That's what I'm saying.
Every new chain that launches, the horror fest comes, the scammers come, and they execute scams on them, and they do, you know, sandwich attacks and maybe not miner extracted value, because I'm not sure how many like scammers will be validators in the system, but like every new chain attracts the lowest common denominator first, Maybe there'll be an exception with Pulse because the Ethereum fees are so high that you get a lot of normal people over as well. But you know, when have you ever heard me promote a coin that wasn't good? I'm real
Right.
selective. And
Right.
if you launch your coin on Pulse, that don't mean I'm saying anything good about it at all. You know, so I prefer people be not scammed regardless of where the transactions are being processed. And if they happen to be transacting on Pulse, you're not going to hear me promoting scams at all. I will still continue to speak out against scams regardless of whether they're on Pulse or not. Because there are other places where that money would be better treated, and they even sometimes are things that I founded. So I would much rather see people in Hex or Pulse or Hex on Ethereum, eHex, any of those places, instead of losing it all to some piece of crap who's then going to take that money to fund marketing for scamming more people in the future. It's actually negative reinforcement. So when you let a scammer get away with it and make more money, then they go do more evil things. Unless they just get like so much money they get bored or blow it all and get robbed themselves. I've seen this go out a few different ways. Any new Hexicans back there? Hey guys, how's it going? Come on up or I can come meet you. If whatever's easier, man. Pleasure, what's your name? Christian, we reward the late here. Hey, how are you? Pleasure. Nice hat. What's your name?
Richard.
Richard, that's my favorite.
Michael.
Michael, pleasure. So, yeah, we should have a dog bowl. Like, does she need water or anything? Or?
No, it's fine.
She all right? All right. Is it a boy or a girl?
He's a Hexican.
So he's rich then.
Rich dog.
Half the cool stuff I saw today was actually dog outfits. So I went to like a Versace store. They didn't sell clothes, but they sold towels and dishes and dog outfits. So like, dog outfit looked pretty good. I'm thinking about it, buying a dog to fit in it. Who else got some questions?
I have a question.
Sure. Go ahead.
So the thing is, when I talk to my friends
Yeah.
about Hex,
Yeah.
they look at the price,
Yeah.
they see phenomenal
Yeah.
gains.
Yeah.
However, they're afraid to buy in now.
Sure.
Obviously, it's the top.
Yeah.
So two things happen. They always tell me, so we need to correct 50%,
Right.
and then we are willing to buy in,
Right.
or we are waiting for the next good thing,
Yeah.
which is Pulse Chain.
Well, there you go. I'm okay with any of that.
But when I, whenever I tell them, Pulse Chain is a fork of Ether,
Yeah. Yeah.
basically
Yeah.
2.0,
Yeah.
they immediately get it.
It's so much
With
easier,
Hex, I have to
Yes,
explain
It's
it.
true. It's much easier on ramp users to
And
pulse
they
it.
are waiting like crazy
Yeah.
about Pulse.
The thing is, a lot of people will not want to buy when the price is high. They'll be waiting for a dip. And then after a timer kicks long enough, they can't wait for the dip anymore, and they FOMO. Or when the price starts to
Right.
move up
That's
more,
right.
they've been waiting for a dip, then they
There
FOMO.
is no perfect entry, of
Yeah,
course.
right. So I don't even think, by the way, for the mic, I think this, was it
This
your
mic
mic?
works.
Okay.
Works. I
Okay.
tried to keep you covered with that.
Yeah, well, why don't I wear one of
The
yours?
battery died, so I
Do
checked.
you want me to wear one of yours?
Sorry?
Do you want me to wear, because mine's not being used right now, I can switch,
Ah, yeah, that would be.
yeah.
I don't say no.
You got two mics, right?
Yeah, we tried to fill the gap
Yeah.
Until your guy has the
Fine.
battery again.
Sure. Well, he's heat bound right now, so we'll just mine has plastic on it, so I can differentiate them.
Oh, yes,
Yeah. So you just check your levels to make sure that mine's green as high as it should be,
should be good.
7, 8, something like that. I'll kill this one too. Yeah, go ahead.
Are you thinking to make something like a Metamask replacement?
Yes,
When?
as soon as I can find the right guy to do it, I would pay someone to do it immediately. If you had that guy in the room, I'd be in the back like, yo, man, I want Metamask replacement now, please. So I mean, I've got a team working on the PancakeSwap standalone for my standard team. I've got maybe 6 or 7 guys now in Pulse Chain, and they also, some of them are Hex guys too. Well, they're all Hexicans, but like some of those guys are primary like go to hex.com guys, right? So they're doing Pulse things, making sure that they can work together well. So his minimum viable launch for Pulse is Bridge, working consensus network, subsequent to testnet, which is up now. Working go to hex.com, and that's minimum viable. And I guess we have to publish the accounting for the sacrifice phase. So publish the accounting for sacrifice phase, working consensus network, Bridge. Maybe you would say Uniswap front end, so easy. Not even worth mentioning, but it is important. Uniswap front end, Bridge, PancakeSwap. Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 minimum components. Some of the things we can go without, like we could go without PancakeSwap, fine. We could launch earlier and just add it later, but I think it'll be done in time.
Are you looking for other decentralized exchanges that are coming up?
Well, they're all just Uniswap v2 forks, because Uniswap v3 isn't licensed for copying. It says they have a 2-year lag.
Yeah.
Like their license they chose inserts a 2-year exclusivity for just them to use the V3 technology, which V2 works fine. Like I really don't have a problem with V2 at all. It's like slightly less capital efficient, but that's about it. Well, I guess you could use V3 for limits, but most people don't because you have to pull your liquidity after it fills and it's not automated. You have to be there watching it, wait for it to fill and then pull it. It's hard. It can unfill and then you're like, did I get filled or not? No, not yet. Let's try again. So yeah, I would love a MetaMask replacement because I mean, from my perspective, I would love a completely vertically integrated, shield everyone from the horror of the other crap that's being sold to them. When people try to on-ramp and they ask me what exchange to use, I just said Bitstamp. Why? Because they don't have margin trading. If I send them to other places that have margin trading, then there's a chance that they get victimized by that, and that's not good. So for me to make the world a better place, it helps to be able to restrict people to only seeing paths that lead to good places and not having like literal pitfalls where they can fall in and die. And so I try and create a community that is just filled with good opportunity and none of the danger. So if I controlled MetaMask or issued something that was, by the way, MetaMask kind of sucks. Like, I don't want to talk too bad about it because it's so vital to all the things we do currently.
Yeah.
But its feature set is pretty not good, right? Like,
Yeah.
show me the coins I own. No, can't do that. Okay, show me the balances, like sort by balance. No. Okay. Let me see the full title that I wrote for this thing. It just shows you a snippet. You're like, bro, like, what does this do? Is there anything that this does that like a normal wallet would do? It doesn't make any sense. Like, show me a list of the addresses I've sent money to. No. Okay, I guess. Well, I guess I'll download the JSON logs and actually mine the data myself. It sucks. It's really terrible. Hey, let me back up my wallet. Nah. No, you want to keep a record of what you've done? No, it's just terrible. Like it's really,
But
really
they
not
have
good.
software that they keep. I asked them. They have their logs. but
They have
keep
the
it.
logs.
Great, wonderful. It's like you lose a girl's phone number and you call up the NSA and you're like, hey guys, I know you've been listening. I like this girl. Can I get her number back? Like it sucks, So I think MetaMask replacement is like a really low hanging kind of make the world better. And you'd on-ramp a lot of users. Like if you opened it up so that it would work with any contract, then you could on-ramp those users pretty easily, So yeah, I definitely want that.
But I had an idea like to rent really a lot of users in a very, very short time.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, what I had a feeling what I saw over the last years is that sometimes people they do prefer centralized finance because they have like a hotline service.
Yes.
They can call. Are you thinking
No one
to
ever
make
answers
something-
that, dude. That ain't getting answered in crypto, never. You're never getting any support in
I
crypto.
know, but like, for example,
It would be
like
nice if you could.
Celsius Network and so
Yeah.
on. They have like a huge user.
Yeah. Sure.
User base because they give that existence.
Okay,
So
well,
are you thinking to do something like that?
why don't you open up a call center and charge people by the minute and just have them put their credit card in there and bang them? I'm just saying, like, someone has to do it, right? So decentralization, someone, if you want to open up a call center, charge people for their time, fine. But here's the problem. Now you got to beg your call center reps not to get those keys. Please, guys, I know you could get a couple $1 million by asking for the seed words, but please don't ask for the seed words. So it's not actually that easy to run a secure call center for a financial operation
Yeah, I know.
because
And actually, most of them, the centralized finance, what I don't like is that it becomes so big, they are making outsourcing for that.
right.
And that I think is
Yeah.
extremely risky.
Because I mean, I've had call centers in my past. I've opened them, and the quality of people that work at them is oftentimes not ideal. They'll come to work drunk. They'll take hard drives home with them. You're like, I don't like any of this stuff, So this is the reason you don't have a call center for Hex, pretty much. It's just too scary. I don't know. Like, I guess you could start with an intro voice saying, our call center reps are slightly evil. Please do not ever give them your seed words. And then like randomly test users. You have to like try and steal the seed words from the user first and be like, you fell for this and you're lucky we weren't actually the bad guy. Don't fall for this again. And they probably still would. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, many
Yeah.
people, they claim that they are not good with passwords, that's why they don't.
Right.
do the crypto.
That's the thing. Like, if you have nude pictures of yourself somewhere, take a picture of your seed words and stick it with your nudes, and then you could get blown out all at once. So if it goes wrong totally all at once. Yeah, we stole all his money and we're publishing his nudes. Could be good or bad. Who knows?
All the money that has been raised by Sense Foundation.
Yes.
Do you know if they're allocating it to a particular project and you're working with them and
I'm not doing any work with them, but they do have a board of directors, and I am friends with one of the guys on the board, Billy. He's a great guy, and they do very good stuff with that money, but the very specifics of what they're doing with it, I do not know. But they publish, I believe, quarterly reports that show you exactly where the money went, who got the money, and what's being done with it, because it is a really registered 501c3 charity that's been in operation for over a decade. So, yeah, if you are curious what they're doing with it, which you should be, I hope that, but like, the chance that those guys are doing something wrong with it or bad with it, I think is
I'm not
low.
asking because
Yeah.
I know you're interested in longevity. So,
Yes.
So my point is like, how much time of your time?
0
allocating
minutes.
To
Absolutely not.
everything is hex.
Roughly as much as I put into dieting. Like,
Like,
yeah, I
we want
wish.
to live very long, and do
Yeah.
you have any advice for us? What should we do to
Sure.
enjoy
Eat less.
hex?
Yep.
for
Eat
as
less
long
food.
as you can?
Eat less food, less often. Lower your caloric intake. Have optimal nutrition. So, have enough. Like with this COVID stuff, I take vitamin C, vitamin D, zinc every day because we know those are good for immune. Apparently, zinc is a little good for the spike protein stuff. And I have friends that have, I've known they've gotten sick, and I haven't gotten sick. Now, is it because I've washed my hands or don't touch my eyes and nose and mouth very much because I care to not do those things during a, pandemic or whatever? Maybe. Or is it because the C&D has made my immune system better? Maybe. Or maybe it's because I don't leave the house ever. I don't know. Right? Like, it could have been any of those things, but I've been traveling a few weeks now and haven't had any problems at all, no sickness of any sort. Some of the other dudes I know, they've been like dying pretty much. So like and by the way, if you get sick and it wasn't COVID, it could have been COVID. You just screwed up. Like if you got any kind of sick, you shouldn't have. You did something wrong. So try not to do that again, right? So basically the advice, you could also look into NMN, which is something that's better than resveratrol, a small molecule supposed to activate the SART1 pathway, which simulates calorie restriction, which causes your body to go into maintenance and repair instead of growth mode. Maybe you get an extra few years out of that, maybe. There's some people that take metformin, But basically NMN, metformin, C, D, zinc, eat less and less often, the only advice I know to give you.
And has any of the Tim Ferriss, Joe Rogan, or Validators reached out to talk to you ever, or?
Kind of. So Zuby reached out to me, and he's been on Rogan twice. And then Faris Zahabi, who trained George St. Pierre, he just emailed me, and he wants to do an interview, and he wants to be in Pulse. So I'll probably do a live stream with him over the next few days or week or something like that. Depends on his schedule. And then, it's interesting to me, like, so I went on one guy that was on Rogan twice, and now another guy that's been on Rogan messages me. And then I think, like, they're all watching each other's streams. And so probably if it goes good with him, I'm going to have other Rogan acolytes or whatever message me. And then it's the same with the intellectual dark web stuff, right? So if I did an interview with Eric Weinstein or his brother or, anybody in that kind of circle, Sam Harris, I'll probably end up doing all those shows, right? Yeah, because we would have amazing conversations. Like I don't think I've ever actually had a bad interview. Even the horrible ones are at least fun, Like even the dude that just called me a scammer for 2 hours straight, people enjoy watching that. Yeah, like people like watching that. Yeah.
What
So
made you to stop swearing on the algorithm?
I got so many
or-
complaints. I got so many complaints from people that were just like, I want to show my mom this, but I can't.
I think they're all again the same.
I'm not sure they're fake. Like some people are just if you're born in like this little portion of society that is raised a certain way, you're really sensitive to it. So I just cut it out, and I don't think I've cursed in stream in forever. But in person, I think I still curse. I think I do. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I do.
I have a question.
Yep.
I actually have a few questions.
Hit me.
Please answer quick.
Sure.
Okay, first, does Pulse Chain have another visual overlay? Like Bitcoin and Ethereum are mostly mined,
Yes.
so will we get like a visual overlay? So
It's already there. We already have a scan.pulsechain.com Etherscan style thing. Is that what you mean? Like you see the transactions?
Yes, but not like Etherscan, because
Yeah.
Etherscan, if I show anyone Etherscan that's not a nerd, they don't even see it. So I think,
So you're showing are you talking about things that show blocks as bubbles? Like
I don't know, it doesn't have to be intelligent, it just
No.
needs to be easy so people see it, can understand it, because Etherscan, you need time to
does such a
understand
thing exist for
Etherscan.
Ethereum?
I don't know,
Well, you said it existed for Bitcoin, right?
no, I don't know either.
Well, if no one's ever done it before, I'm not sure that we have it in the roadmap.
Okay, I'll write that down.
Yeah. So like,
Yeah, I'll write that down
if you tell
afterwards.
me what you're explaining might look like, then we might be able to have someone build it. Visualizing blockchain sucks. It's just an Excel spreadsheet, bro. Like,
Okay,
so, you know, a blockchain is just an
okay, I'll
Excel
do that.
spreadsheet.
Vis-
Visualizing spreadsheets is about as good as it gets.
Yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
So where can I get this necklace? I really like it.
Which one?
Yeah,
This one?
The other one, I don't have money, so I.
Somebody created a model of this that I've seen on shapeways.com, but
Shapeways.
yeah.
So
But it
I
wasn't
have to write
me.
it down. If I don't write it down, I forget it.
That's where Ballet Brand has his.
I hope he Googled fair use, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
Uh,
Yeah.
Then how? It might be a long answer, but
Sure.
just maybe a short one. How does it?
I'm not in a rush. I'm okay.
I'm
Take
on a
your
rush.
time. Take your time.
I
Go
don't.
ahead. Go ahead.
How does a price get created? Like
Price.
if we have pulse and
Yes.
so right now we have no pulse price, but
Yep.
what does the first second of the price
Sure.
where does it come from?
Well, things are going to launch at 0 because we're going to force them to.
Yes.
Maybe we'll launch before anyone knows it exists. Good luck having a price then. Or maybe we
Okay.
won't know when the time will exist is. Or maybe we'll bar transactions that are from AMMs. Or we're going to launch at 0. That's an important design parameter.
Okay.
But it's, yeah,
One more question
Sure.
to that.
Yeah.
In the first second,
Yeah.
then there's a stage where we get enabled to claim.
well, you're never going to claim. Your keys are just going to work. They just work.
Alright.
So when you create a key in the private key that it corresponds to, the interesting thing about cryptocurrency is that you create a private key first, and then that private key actually generates the public key. So it's like reverse. You don't generate the public and then derive the private. So with this, the price setting is someone is going to decide to put an order in when they can somewhere, and they're going to choose. Just like if you want to make someone mow your lawn, you're like, will you mow my lawn for $20? No. $100? No. $1,000? Yes. Okay. You just choose it. You just set it. It's humans that do it.
Okay.
So
okay.
some human somewhere is going to decide to trade a thing for another thing.
So the first limit order sets the
We
price?
don't even know that those prices will be found on the Pulse chain. They might be found somewhere else. So you might find that the first Pulse
So
price might be.
the first guy who actually gets to buy the very first in the line is
Well,
the
let me
one,
put it
and
this
he
way.
decides what the price
If
is.
you go into a room and you go, does anyone here have Pulse? And someone says yes, and you have money in your hand, you go, I'll give you $100 for it. Then you could be the first transaction.
Oh, okay, that's
And then
interesting.
that's off chain. And then if you happen to be on chain and you see that Pulse exists, you can trade your Pulse for anything else that someone wants to.
Yes.
And no one chooses those things. Like they're all human selected.
Okay.
So there's we launch at 0, but after 0, the people do whatever they want.
Okay.
Yeah.
And because Hex is proof of weight, and
Yeah.
just like if I remember correctly,
Sure.
you said Pulse is proof of stake.
Yes.
So first, where's the difference, and does
Sure.
the Pulse staking has the same concept like the Hex staking?
Sure.
So do we get another?
Yeah.
So does
So-
Pulse have its own T-shares, and is
No.
has it its own
Yeah.
origin address, and is the whole system the
Yeah,
same?
I'll explain it. So Pulse, Hex is proof of weight, but it's a hybrid. So proof of weight is for the inflation, but for the actual sending of the coin, it is proof of work because it's on Ethereum. So inflation is proof of weight, but the transactions and even sending the inflation around is proof of work because it uses Ethereum, and Ethereum is proof of work.
Mm-hmm.
So you can send your Hex back and forth, it's proof of work.
But
But
doesn't
unless
then,
you inflate the supply, that's proof of weight.
but doesn't then because we are so happy that Hex is proof of stake, because then we can say that we don't
Hex
use
still uses
energy.
electricity
But if
today.
we,
But
yeah,
it packs. So
is
Ethereum,
there a possible way to mathematically compare the energy use of Hex
Yes.
to ETH?
yes,
How
Because
how do I make the
you
math?
divide by dollars. So right now, the amount of energy that is used by the Ethereum network transacts a certain amount of dollars per block. Some of those blocks contain ERC20, some of those blocks contain Ethereum. Really, all of them contain both for the most part. And then you measure up the amount of value that's being transacted per block, and then
Mhm.
the amount of energy that meets the difficulty to generate those blocks.
Wait.
Sure.
The amount of block?
So we know that the difficulty proof of work blockchains operate with a difficulty. The difficulty means here's how much electricity you have to use through these machines that have a known efficiency to generate this number of results, which will generate a block reward that will pay you. So you divide.
How unit 5 energy for 1 block.
Well, right now, you would look up the block reward per block on Ethereum, because it changes. They've moved it around a few times. So whatever that block reward is now, you take that block reward as your top that you're going to divide out, and then you divide how much cost there was to generate that block. And that gives you your cost per, unit of value that you're transmitting, right? So here's your block. Your block transmitted this much value. Here's how much the ERC20s were worth. How much is the Ethereum worth? And then here's the energy that went into creating that block. So we knew the difficulty was this. We know the efficiency of the machines was that, which means it cost this to generate this. And then you've got your blockchain cost for moving value. And then HEX just comes in and packs more value into that existing waste. Those blocks are going to be created no matter what anyway. So they can be less efficient or more efficient. And packing a HEX block in there makes them more efficient because it transmits more value with the same energy waste.
So it's like the Ethereum block has like an empty volume, and I can pack that volume with different transactions, and I can.
And those
every
transactions have
ERC20 token is in the ETH block, and the bigger the HEX volume, the more energy would it use per block.
The bigger the USD value of the HEX transaction is, the more efficient it makes the value transfer per unit of energy wasted. But ETH 2.0, the more value you pack into the block with the same energy waste, the more efficient the block is.
Oh, okay. So the energy use is always the same, but it just gets better.
Roughly, the energy use changes based on the value of Ethereum.
Yes.
Because the value to extract the cost, the money thrown at extracting a resource tends to equal the value of the resource. So if an Ethereum block, so Ethereum blocks have a fixed amount of Ethereum reward, but the US dollar of that Ethereum amount floats around, and then the amount miners are willing to waste in order to get that floats with the price.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, and the miners eventually will be eliminated in Ethereum. So they will actually fork out the miners, and there will no longer be proof of work in Ethereum.
But if there's no longer proof of work in Ethereum, how does the blockchain...
They switch to proof of stake.
But where does the... what I don't understand, if there's the proof of work, I kind of understand that. But if it's on proof of stake and there's no miner,
where does the security come from?
No, where?
I'll tell you.
How many? No, I don't care about the security at this question. Okay. Yeah, I want the price to go up. What I want to know is, because the public, they don't care about the security. What they care about is climate change, and they care about the energy. So if it goes proof of stake,
then there's no more energy waste.
Zero?
But roughly zero.
How does it work? Is it just like the server that is transactioning it?
So how much energy waste is there in Pornhub? It's just a web server, right?
I don't know how much is there.
Well, they don't waste much. It's the minimal amount of electricity to deliver you the web page. There's no extra proof of work, proof of waste, millions of dollars given to the electricity company just to show that you did. So what proof of stake does is it requires people to risk their value by buying stake. And then in proof of work, you risk your value by buying mining hardware. In both systems, you have a hard upfront cost to earn the privilege of receiving inflation. So in proof of work, you buy mining hardware and electricity and facilities, and you operate it, and then you get inflation as a reward, and then you dump the inflation to pay for those things, and you hurt the price and you pollute the environment. That's why proof of work sucks. With proof of stake, you get rid of the electricity company nearly entirely. You're not wasting energy for proof of work anymore. You just run a normal web server, just like everybody else.
So proof of stake
removes all the proof of work.
It's just running a server like any other website.
Roughly, but there's a select classification of people that have earned the right to mine the blocks and earn the block rewards. And in, for instance, EOS has 21, I think BSC has 21, and our system will have 33 just because bigger numbers are better, and I like the number. But roughly, they're not an order of magnitude difference. They're just both, 2-digit numbers under 40. So we're going to have 33 validators. Most other people tend to have 21. And those validators have received or purchased so much stake and then either been delegated to them enough stake from other people that they've earned the right to mine those blocks.
How can I get a validator?
Well, you would have to outbid the other 33 people to enter that set.
Oh, so
it's likely to be very expensive. But maybe it won't be. Nobody knows. Like maybe being a validator is not worth that much because fees are so low. I don't know. I don't know how much people are going to pay for fees yet. So your profit as a validator in our system is wildly different than Ethereum. Ethereum continues to inflate, and so validators in Ethereum get a portion of that inflation. But in Pulse, there is no inflation, so they only get fees. And if the fees are low, you might lose money being a validator.
But isn't being a validator, if there's only 33 validators, isn't that centralized?
Well, not really. So it's like,
what if there weren't 33 but just one? What would be the difference?
well, people would say, oh God, what if this guy goes to sleep and the server turns off? And then people would have a legitimate concern. Then then the network might go down.
But why don't we make? Why is it not possible for everybody to be a validator?
Because you spend too much time in lag. You get too many orphans.
Okay.
When you rotate from one validator to the next, it creates this middle state where things suck.
So
It's like context switching, right? Like imagine if you read 10 books at once, one after the other.
Yeah.
You wouldn't learn anything from any of them because you have in between books, you just get broken. And so blockchains are the same kind of way. Like when you switch validators, you have a little bit of downtime. When you increase the block speed by decreasing the time per block too low, you get people that both found valid blocks, but they disagree with each other. They contain different transactions, but they're both valid blocks. And so in Bitcoin, it's called an orphan, and then in Ethereum, it's also called an orphan, but they get paid an uncle reward. So you can't reduce for free the block time too low, and you can't increase for free the block size too large, or things start stalling out and conflicting with each other.
Okay, I'm sorry, I kind of lost.
It's okay. Yeah, so there's parameters that you can use in blockchains to tune them. You can have faster blocks, but once they're too fast, everything disagrees with each other constantly.
Oh, okay, that explains.
So you need time. You have the speed of light to get on the other side of the planet. And so for me to spend money on this side of the planet and then prove that it's not double spent, the people on the other side of the planet need to have received that information from here to go, oh yeah, it hasn't been spent yet, fine. Otherwise, if the block time is too cheap, you could just set a timer and be like, all right, we're going to spend our coins at the same time, 2 places, and then they would both appear to be valid in both places until the light got to the other side of the planet. It was like, hey, wait, you already spent those coins. So you're hard limited by the speed of light and how fast you can reduce your block time, and you're also hard limited by the speed of light on basically bandwidth data transfer for how large your blocks can be.
But couldn't you just? It doesn't matter. Okay, I have to get to
this
the
stuff
next
is well thought about. It's
okay.
very hard to get extra throughput. Very hard. So the fact that we're going to have like 10 times the throughput of Ethereum, be very happy with that. It's hard to get more.
Yeah, like if you say you have 10 times more throughput,
So
it's
by the way,
same like when you say the time goes up 10x. I hardly don't understand. So
well, I mean,
because I don't.
It's okay.
I
Your
don't-
questions are good. I like your
Thank
questions.
Okay, I have it. Thank you.
Yeah, they're good. They're very good questions.
I have another one.
But I don't think I answered that last one completely. Wasn't it?
What
Was
was
the
the last
centralization
question?
thing?
What?
You asked, well, isn't that centralized? Isn't 33 validators centralized? Well,
Yes.
let me ask you. If the government starts kicking in somebody's door, you just have a fork and have more validators. You're like, okay, now there's more validators.
Okay.
So you can respond to threats, and so it's like, how many locks do you have on your door at home? 1, 2. Okay, why not 10? Because you're incurring a lot of crappy cost when the guy can just go through the window.
Okay.
Right? And so you're like, oh, well, we'll have 100 validators. Well, what if they send drone strikes?
Like,
Is
would there
100
be
that much different
would
than
it be the
1,000?
possibility that if time goes on and the global crypto space grows further, that there will be more validators
No,
because
it doesn't help. It
doesn't
give
help.
More throughput.
okay.
You just spend more time rotating through them.
So couldn't you kill the blockchain by
There's a lot of ways to kill
destroying
it.
every?
I could give you a lot of
33?
ways to kill it. You
Yeah.
could
Okay.
send
No.
drone
No.
strike to everybody
I
who's
listened
node,
enough to your
you blow up
videos
their
to know
house,
everything you
you
already
turn
said.
off the internet. You could, you know, there's a lot of attacks against blockchains, but you don't see them because it's easier for people to play along and get rich than to fight them and get poor.
Yeah, that
So-
makes sense.
Like
Okay.
you could go attack all the Bitcoin miners now, but why?
Yeah. We are already attacking them with
Alright.
proof of stake and tax.
Well, yeah, good.
Isn't that
They
an
should
attack?
the Bitcoin guys should do a proof of work change and get rid of the proof of work crap.
Yeah.
And just switch to proof of stake. They really should.
If I tell people about crypto, I've kind of first tried to get them into the Bitcoin because like everybody has heard about Bitcoin. Because if I tell them, hey, don't buy HEX, get 40% stake and 1,000,000%, they think I'm stupid. So I say, and they,
Just
you
lower
know,
the numbers till they're comfortable with it.
I'm working on it, but my numbers are still too high.
I know. I know. That's why we say 40%. I have this problem. People talk about yield farming, and their yield farm numbers are versus the dollar. And I'm like, oh, we're going to talk dollar numbers. Well, then I'm going to multiply my my APY versus the dollars,
Yes.
it's 1,000,000%
I-
times 40%.
I feel like at this point when it's so great to
Yeah.
talk to in person. You should change the banner in Twitter when we write hex.com. The banner says like, you know what the banner says. People, I know there's
I think
this.
it's still like 8,000x or something, right?
Yeah, I know. On the one side, it would be nice to show the truth, but
Yeah.
if we show the truth, people think we're a scam. So
Sure.
maybe we
If
should.
you find, we've gone through every type of language possible, but if you find an edge case we didn't find yet for superior language, I'm happy to upgrade them.
No, I would
But it's
just.
hard to beat.
I wouldn't try to change the language. I would change the language as often as I could because I think that
Those numbers just go up. The numbers just go up.
I don't know. It doesn't matter that if the number goes up permanently, people will not understand it because the number is too big to understand.
I think I can summarize your argument in that if we show them the delta as this change versus another change, it seems like a smaller number.
No, just make every time you post hex.com, the banner looks different and there are different numbers.
Oh, I know what you mean. Yeah,
So-
I can't do
so
it. I can't do it.
Okay.
The reason for it is because those banners are cached by so basically Telegram, Facebook, and Twitter run their own caching servers. And when you send them a link, they take a snapshot of that link.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you were to change something and push that code to your site, you then have to run those refresh
Okay, yeah,
things.
that's
And
too much
sometimes they
work.
don't refresh.
Okay.
I mean, in theory, it could be done, but it's really low.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
thought behind it was to
I know what you mean. To have it change more so that it seems
try
more
to change
live.
more that
Yeah.
people like
Yeah.
could
It's still
fall
going to
into
be
the
too high
belief
number.
that there is more action,
I
but there
understand.
is already so much action.
That's
but-
why we buy expensive crap, because they understand that.
Yeah, that
It's not
on
real.
the-
Well, that's
I also
Sorry,
have
it's
my
real.
thoughts on that. I think buying Rolex and Louis Vuitton is a nice idea to onboard the rich, but
everybody. The poor respond even better.
the poor are not searching for Louis Vuitton or Rolex. I think it would
They
be much.
understand it, bro. Go on Instagram. They get it. Go on Instagram. They understand.
I'm poor. I didn't understand it. I'm
Well, you're
still
smart,
confused
more
by
different.
the Louis Vuitton post. Then it might have. But you
Yeah,
don't
yeah.
like NFTs. I don't like
What
whatever.
we're doing is working, man. We got this locked. This we've got figured out. Our on-ramping is going okay.
The on-ramp, yeah. Well, I can't. Wait. I want more on-ramping. There can't
I
be.
agree. Like, yes,
The
better.
more
but, like, we can't.
on-ramping, the better.
What we
Okay.
need is our messaging is about 80% as good as it's going to get, but our outbound messaging on like reaching new people. So the effectiveness of our message is 80%, but our reaching new people is maybe 15%. Because
Yeah,
most
that's
people
what I
have
mean.
never heard of us.
Yeah.
So we just need to spread the message we have at the effectiveness it is at more places.
Yeah, that's what
That's
I
going
mean.
to
Make
multiply larger.
lower the effectiveness, but up the reach. Because if you onboard 80% of people with Louis Vuitton,
We can't get
that's
more reach by lowering it.
that-
We can only get more reach by getting more reach. It's not like a
yeah, but
bullpen
you
where
could
we
get
push
more
it
reach
more.
if you change the topic. Change the topic to
Sure, we do
keyboards.
that. We
No,
rotate.
if
I
you
that.
do,
Bro, I'm doing fucking opening box videos, man. Like, I'm fucking like in the bathtub washing clothes and shit. Like, really, I'm rotating as hard as I can.
That
until-
video was weird. But
Like,
okay.
Well, yeah, but it's exactly what you want me to do. Like,
Yeah, but not
You
with
want me to
Louis
reach out
Vuitton.
to
No,
other
no,
people through
if
other
you
methods,
open the
that's what I'm
box,
saying.
you're opening still the box for the Louis Vuitton people.
what kind of box you want me to open?
The box that has the most attention.
Cheetos? I'll open
No.
the Cheetos box.
Yeah, then
Fine.
it doesn't. The product doesn't
Pizza
matter.
review.
It doesn't matter how many eyeballs it has. if the world is watching Cheetos, then you should open Cheetos.
You know
if the
what?
world is watching,
I'm gonna subscribe to your channel when you start doing overviews because you could do that. Don't be my car.
no, right now.
I think that was.
We
my
have a
car.
collab.
That makes that.
I don't
noise.
have a channel, but if I create a channel, you'll subscribe.
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
do a
cool.
collab.
There we
You
go.
understand? Like, there's like 4 or 5 YouTubers in this room. Like,
Yeah.
he's a YouTuber. He
Yeah.
didn't start out as a YouTuber.
Yeah.
YouTuber. Where the fuck are all the YouTubers at?
All the time.
These are all successful YouTubers here, bro.
You was live all the time with 600 and more people.
Oh, nice. Hello.
Greetings
to
he's
my
live
mom.
streaming right now.
He's live
How
streaming.
many people you got? 600?
600,
Yeah, there's 600 people watching the stream.
Wow, great. Hey, I hope everyone.
He's converted. You on-ramped on YouTube.
I hope everybody at home is doing fine. Get some food.
Ask him a short question. They'll
Yeah,
dive in.
maybe someone has a question, but nothing stupid. Think of your YouTube.
Your questions are all fabulous. Those are really
I don't
good
even have a
questions.
YouTube channel.
Think about the name right now.
Do you have any other questions? I wanna make sure we
Yes,
get them
yes.
all.
I have another. I have one smaller question
Go.
and one big topic.
I'm ready.
Okay, so I'm from Germany, and today
No, you
at
can
morning.
do 8-hour videos.
What?
So
I can do 8-hour videos.
8-hour videos, you know.
Yeah.
He's
I-
almost done. I think he's got 2 questions left.
Yeah,
I'm ready.
I don't have 8 hours because I need to work tomorrow.
What do you do for work? You don't have to tell anybody.
Yeah, we don't want to
Don't
cry.
Don't-
I do stickers.
Nice.
I
Those are
do-
pretty
That's the
stickers.
best sticker you've made.
Good stickers.
No, yeah, if anyone wants a sticker and
Thanks.
maybe.
Lots of stickers. I'll
Okay,
take a
great.
sticker.
No, yeah, you can have one. And
I know some places
could
would
you
look quite nice,
could
actually.
me sign one sticker?
Maybe give me a couple of these.
Yeah, but only
I
if
know
you
where
sign
I
me
can
some
put
of
these.
them.
Sure, I'll sign you one.
Okay.
I'm gonna put these on my car.
Yeah, how about you give them to the people and you could you sign me like
I can.
3 or 4?
Yes.
Wow,
Here,
oh my god,
give
it's
me
the best day of my life. I even brought an adding, so.
I don't even know how to sign things. What right here?
Yeah, man, you should make it on the. No, do it on the front. I want it
front?
to be under the
I'll
logo.
get one that's
So-
not marked up.
Yeah.
So such a great day.
Yeah, I'm holding them all. 1 second. Here, dig in. These are mine.
Yeah, just
Maybe
spread
you can
them
use the
around.
surface if you want.
Yeah, oh, there is.
Thank you, bro.
I might even have some more.
There you go, bro. Hope you didn't start a trend here.
Look,
God damn it.
I also made
I brought
some
my laptop just for you to do it.
bitcoins, and I somewhere have some ADHD thing. in it.
Technology.
Here's the good news. I can't sign wrong. It's all my name.
Yeah, we can
There you
some
go.
of the other Richards make descriptions.
Mad gains.
God damn. How do you want it to? Which way to fold?
The most amazing guy you've ever met, you know, just whatever kind of.
It's hilarious.
I'm sorry, they're all mine. I might
Wait.
sell them in.
Go ahead. Get rich,
Never.
bro.
No, I'll.
My pleasure, man.
Don't create much because then mine are worth more. Okay, so but
on eBay.
but I have more questions.
I'm just gonna take these. Can I have these?
You can, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah. If someone
generous.
else, please be free to take
The
them.
store. He still has a large stack. Of
I
stickers.
even have some Bitcoin here, and somewhere if people are interested, the public likes them. I also have some ADHD stickers, but that's some personal stuff.
Hit your other question, man. Hit your other question. Come on.
Yeah. My other question. Okay. So I'm from Germany, and I was at the tax guy.
Yeah.
I never did taxes before because not much money. Yeah. So I figured out that in Germany, if you hold for
A year.
a year,
No tax.
it's for free. Best life ever.
Nice.
So I have a stake that will end this December, and I only heard you say it once
You
because.
can try using good accounting.
No, that's not my question.
Expert
My question is,
Okay.
I only heard you say this once. You said if the end stakes, there is a possibility of not creating them.
That's the good accounting feature.
Oh, you were. Oh,
Yes.
okay, you were already.
there's-
addressing
you
that,
go-
but I didn't know what
When you go to hex.com and your stake is ended, when you click end stake, it gives you 2 options. It gives you like really end your stake or use good accounting. What good accounting does is it logs it so that you're not going to incur any penalties, but
Mhm.
it also doesn't mint your coins. And so I'm not a tax advisor, but there's a possibility that since you didn't mint your coins, that you didn't have income, and then perhaps you can change your time at which you receive income to when you choose.
That would mean I can. So
You can't restake. You won't end stake. You won't mint your coins. You can't restake, but you
I
just
can't
also
restake.
no, because you haven't minted them into existence. You
But
can only
do I get my principal?
you don't get anything. You get
Oh,
nothing.
okay.
You stop penalties from being incurred. Then when you want, you can end the stake when you want. Maybe
Yeah.
after that 1 year time frame, perhaps.
No, I need 10. So if only holding is
Yeah.
1 year, but staking is 10. So I thought that I can end it, but not mint it, and restake the principal and extend my.
But we don't
Staking
know,
ladder from
we don't
15
know
to
that their
1.
definition of staking operates the same way as hexes. So you might still fall under a preferential regime of regulatory based on the difference in definition.
Yes.
Because the word stake is very vague, and they're not similar. Nothing. The staking in Pulse has nothing to do with the staking in Hex. There's no time frames in Pulse. There's no T-shares in Pulse. There's not a time component there.
When will we get more information on the
I
pulse
mean,
stake?
you probably could go to the repo now and read about it.
What's the repo?
Like it's on GitLab. It's like
Oh yeah,
Go
that's some
Pulse
nerdy
GitLab.
stuff.
Yeah.
GitLab.
yeah, yep, that's it. But that's where I'm not that well versed on it yet because people ask me weird questions like how often can I change who I'm delegating to? I'm not sure. How often, like, there's things I don't know about that system yet that I'm not well versed on enough to explain the little nuances there. But I just know there is no time component.
So there's
so
more
there's a
than-
chance that hex staking operates in a way where a year might work for you instead of 10. You have to ask your accountant or your legal lawyer dude. I don't know.
Yeah,
But I know it's worth looking into.
okay. And then the last thing, so
Because staking in hex looks a lot more like mining than it does actually staking. You're creating new inflation out of thin air. You're not being issued inflation. by
oh,
someone
maybe I
else.
can.
So it's
So
different.
maybe I could. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Sorry
maybe
for all you guys who are looking at my butt for last hour.
I also looked at this, but for the
It's
other.
not that
hour.
much different.
So there was the very big topic is the origin share and the
There
long.
is an address that can mint like 1% of supply.
Where can I find the number of the origin address?
In Pulse?
No,
There isn't
in
one.
Hex.
Oh, it's,
Well, Hex says it's. No.
You can
You can go to the
I think you can
just
go-
go to Etherscan and look at the.
you can
So
go to
there-
Etherscan and type.
So where
like,
I can find God Whale and
you
the
could just
other-
you could literally there's this Telegram channel on Telegram called t.me/hex trading.
yeah
And those
and-
guys will link you to every imaginable resource in regards
Oh,
to
okay.
video reviews, Excel spreadsheet reviews, every single address imaginable. Those guys eyeball everything. So
Okay.
they're-
And
Or
the
you just
longer,
Google it, like
the
you
longer I
kinda-
think about the origin address, the more complex it gets. So
it doesn't do anything; it just sits there. So like,
even just sitting there does a lot of things.
all right,
First,
Yeah.
it is circulating supply, which
perhaps
makes
Cousin is measuring it. Sure,
yeah.
could increase the market cap, could increase people's APYs, could decrease them, but then you might see an increase in the USD price. We don't know. Yeah.
So if
So
the-
far, it seems to have worked out
because the origin address will grow.
compared to inflation.
Yeah,
So if you
yeah,
look
of course.
global
But
penalties total forever are about 3 billion, but inflation in the system is like 20+ billion. So-
so in theory, right now the origin address is very large. So could you say
It's not actually. It divested most of those coins to other addresses. So you'd have to assume that it's also same addresses. I think the OA may only hold 500 million hex in it or something.
I don't care about numbers. What's the
Yeah.
percent? How many percent?
Very
is that?
small. I mean, the total supply is like 630 billion, so the actual OA has a small percent. But like, here's the thing about blockchain, right? Like, when things happen on chain, it goes from one address to another address. You
Yes.
don't know if that's the same person or not. You don't even know if it started as one person. It could be a community. You don't
Of
know,
course.
right? So because it's pseudo-anonymous, some of these measurements are very hard to give. So,
But the longer the system exists, the more inflation there is,
yeah.
the more people stake, end stake, emergency stake, do whatever the
you
system
may-
does.
You
The
may see
smaller the address gets
But
percentage.
But the trend is actually that fewer people are hitting a penalty button
Yes.
and losing.
Less and less
because we
people are
see
being
economic
penalized for
value
less
in
and
it.
less coins.
Yes.
And fewer of us,
Yeah.
and there's more education in the space.
But even that
Before-
makes the origin address smaller. So in the early days, the origin,
The origin is
address
being
was
diluted.
Yes.
Everyone else is receiving outsized returns via APY, but because the origin hasn't staked, it's being diluted while everyone else is getting rich.
Of course, yeah, I know that. So, but what,
Very
what-
nice of the OA to do that.
maybe it's not a question, but a thing I want to say because the origin address will percentage-wise
Get smaller.
get smaller by
based on
time.
what's currently
So
happening,
the-
but you don't
so
know
the-
in the
the
future.
red
so
card-
does the founder of every Fortune 500 company.
Yeah. So
Founds
the
that company. They
so the
always
red
salute
card
themselves.
of the origin address that the other YouTubers like, oh, you have the origin address. This card will get smaller
Yes.
and smaller as the
If things continue as they have been, sure. Yeah.
does the because there's so much coin or whatever coins in the origin address. Is there any? Does this make the coin more secure?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't think it works like that. Everything's centralized in crypto. Like, every single coin is centralized in ownership, all of them, everyone, and they always will be. Because one, you have to buy in with money, and money already has a power loss distribution. Or you have to buy in by having knowledge no one else has, which has a power law distribution. And so there's no way that you're gonna be without severe or large whales in a currency, any currency, whether it's the dollar, we see power law distribution whales in every single limited resource, whether it's like, I've got $2 million of watches, most people don't. Some people have a lot of USD, some people have a lot of real estate. You're never gonna get rid of that, and if you tried to, they tried to do that in the USSR with socialism and communism, and it didn't work. It went very poorly.
Oh, that's a great bridge you're saying there, because
Whales are great. So I love your questions, you're awesome, and I love the stickers, but we've been doing this for about an hour. We gotta give these homies a chance.
Yeah, please, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Good questions, man, thank you so much. They're really good.
I came here to discover the man behind the product.
All right.
And
Well, where is it?
simple question,
Me,
man.
I know
What
some stuff.
drives you, man? But every
Ferrari.
morning when you wake up, you receive so much hate,
Yes.
so much criticism,
Yes.
every time explaining the same stuff when you're trying to help
Yeah,
people.
yeah.
I mean, you know, what drives you? Where
I
do you
wanna
get
win.
this energy?
I really just wanna win, and I'm
You
not happy.
didn't
with-
already won?
No, it's a moving target, it keeps moving. So I wanna have the best performing asset that's ever existed. Apparently I already have that, but more. People still don't believe. I want them to believe. So for me, it's not real until people believe it's real. So I'll feel like I did a good job founding the best thing when everyone realizes it's the best thing. So if there's someone that has a higher market cap, I'm bothered by that. Yeah, it's a fake made up number, but I want my fake made up number to be better than your fake made up number, right? So for me, it's like a checking nuts kind of masculine, competitive, moving target, right? So I'm not sure that that ever stops being there, you know? Like people don't win one Super Bowl and they're like, I did it. Nah, they want to win 2 Super Bowls, you know? This is like having a fast car. This car's fast enough. No, I want a faster car. It's a man thing. It's a guy thing. And not all creatures have this issue. I'm sure jellyfish are cool, just kind of chilling, you know? They're not really like getting angry at other jellyfish, talking about scammer, you know? Like it's not that common. Yeah, for me, I'm actually a really simple dude. I like girls, cars, guns, money. Easy, you know. I just happen to also do all these helpful things like generate 27 million or raise 27 million for charity and produce free self-help books and self-help content. And I really do try to make everyone's lives better. But I'm also just a normal dude, like, you know, like I'm watching stupid shows on TV like anybody else. Science fiction, you know, love it.
Well, thank you for all you do.
My pleasure, thanks, man. I really hope everybody does even better than you're already doing. Hey, back there. I like that shirt. He's improved his shirt. He's improved his shirt. Who else has got anything? Who else has got anything?
I got a
Questions?
question about
Go ahead.
onboarding people.
Sure. Yeah.
Because the people that I onboarded,
Yeah.
most of them have no idea how crypto works.
Good.
So I have to onboard them
Yeah.
myself.
Yep.
But is there a way in the future that
If there was a centralized exchange, it'd be really easy because they just send their money there and then they can get
to
Hex.
buy with fiat, Hex,
be great.
or Pulse without having to buy Bitcoin or Ethereum?
Kind of, maybe, sort of. I don't know. There's this website called dharma.io, which you have to spell the URL, DHARMIO or RM, whatever, Dharma.
Yeah.
And so maybe you can buy Hex directly there with fiat, maybe, and I think they hold your coins for 7 days. I haven't tested it personally, so I can't speak to it. I do know that that would make on-ramping people a lot easier. You don't have to use like all this crazy stuff. Yes, it is the end game, it is the goal. We're not there yet. Some things actually take preference over it. Like I would work on Pulse Chain before I'd work on that.
Yeah,
because
of
we can
course,
still
Pulse
on-ramp
Chain, of
users,
course.
but
Here in Switzerland, when you go to the trade station,
Yeah.
you can go to the ATM where you buy the tickets.
right,
You can buy Bitcoin there.
great.
That's an easy way
Yeah.
of unramping to Bitcoin.
Yeah, well then you can on-ramp from Bitcoin to Hex or Bitcoin to ETH and then ETH to Hex using bridge.runproject.io, and there are other bridges that
Yeah.
you can get in on Bitcoin and then out. So
Right.
and then hopefully Pulse will have that as well. Like
Because there are many people that have no idea about crypto,
Yep.
but they want to buy Hex.
Yep. You know, in theory, as long as, I mean, in theory, if you weren't doing it as a business or you weren't doing it too often, you could on-ramp people out of your own stack and replenish your own stack.
Yeah.
You could do that. Just be careful because these local governments, huh?
It will be a sacrifice for the greater good.
Well, these local governments, they get real snippy about unlicensed money transfer.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit gross that you can't just sell somebody whatever you want, but just be careful with your local government. But I think if you didn't do it too often, and it wasn't like a business, or you didn't make money on it, like you'd have to ask your lawyer basically, like
Yeah.
if I don't make any money on this, can I help people in this way? Like I get it and then sell it to them kind of stuff. I'm not sure, but I do register your comment that it sure would be nice to be able to on-ramp users without so much extra crap.
Yeah.
There's a lot of extra crap.
Would be good for the price also.
It would be very much. Yeah,
And
I think Paul's
save
channel
them
helped.
from surroundings,
Yes.
the crypto market,
The
which
scam
could-
stuff. Yep, I agree with you 100%. It's in my vision for the future. I would love to see it.
Nice.
How are you gonna onboard the next 100,000 users?
You don't actually have to do much of anything. It's going to happen. You're going to brag about how well you did. Your friends are going to see. They're going to get jealous, and then they're just going to want you to explain to them how to do it. So we don't actually have to technically or tactically do anything different than what we're already doing. Now it's nice that big people want to talk to me, but big people want to talk to you guys too. I mean, Gary's talking to more fancy people than I am. Really, like he's talking to way more wealthy. You know, he was on live stream with Rich Dad Poor Dad Dude. He's talking to people way up higher in the food chain, and who is he? He's just a dude that was living in Puerto Rico, doing real estate stuff, you know, and finance for basically gymnasium starting, and like now he's a crypto dude. He's like, oop, I'm in this now, right? And now he's an influencer. Now he's, you know, just like how many people here have YouTube channels that never had YouTube before? A lot. I mean,
Me including.
exactly. You're like, yeah, I'm gonna do a YouTube channel
We
now.
have something we can put my face on. And
Yeah,
that's not-
yeah.
That was the only point, like,
Yeah.
for my decision.
And it works great. It works great. So we're actually doing fabulous, and we don't need to
Okay.
do
I just see
anything.
the staking numbers, for example, were like
Yeah.
2 weeks we were at 40,000, now
Yeah.
we're at 60,000.
I love it.
It's just,
Yeah.
it goes. And
With growth like that, I mean, that's the best. That's the dream. Like, there's really nothing. There's no metric that I can think of more important than that one. Because even maybe price is the most important one, but then that would be second, maybe.
this is
Yeah.
what you see when price goes up, the viewers
Right.
go up, the subscribers go
Yeah.
up, and then it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so basically we just continue what we're doing already.
Wouldn't it be funny if the gates opened and someone talked about all the notable things we're doing? Like, we raised $27 million for charity, and everyone tried to pretend it didn't happen. And now I brag about being the best human in cryptocurrency. I'm like, I'm
You
the best
can.
person in cryptocurrency. I raise more money from charity than you. I've produced free self-help books. I called the top on the day. There's no better person in cryptocurrency. Nobody. It's me. I'm the best. And if you guys want to compete and donate more money to charity or release free self-help materials, go ahead and get in the game. But until then, I'm going to be stomping on you guys, like, because I earned it. I earned it. I get to say I'm the best person in cryptocurrency. Objectively, go measure it, and everyone else can cry.
What I do.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
You should.
You're the best memes too.
Thank you.
Most amazing.
Thank you.
Why do you think you get so much resistance then?
It's
I have a
basically.
theory why, but
Sure. There's a trade-off in human beings with significance and connection. So if someone comes to you and tells a really sad story and how bad everything's going, you're like, oh man, give him a hug. But then you don't want to invest your money with that guy because he seems like a bitch. So we have this trade-off where if you come in hot with significance and you come in with $1 million, $250,000 Rolex, the Ferrari, right? People hate you from a distance. They'll be like, fuck that guy, fuck that guy. But then as soon as you get near and they think they can work with you, yeah, man, what's up, man? How's it going? And it literally switches based on proximity. So people talk shit at a distance, and I do this. I talk shit. It's fun. Talking shit's fun. But then once you see you can work with somebody, you shut the fuck up and you work with them and you find a synergy, you know? So a lot of people hating on you, it's because they know you exist. And then they know you exist because you were loud enough to break out of the noise. And most people are not. Most people live a life of quiet desperation. And so to punch really hard and take the risk and take the slings and arrows of outrageous fortune, you know, it gives you the rewards, but it gives you the risk as well, you know? So like, I got a speed camera ticket. Why? Well, car wasn't feeling right. I wanted to see that everything was working good, you know? And then right where the camera was, like, damn, how fast was I going?
Do this in Germany, not in Switzerland.
Right? Yeah, thank God I didn't do it here, thank God. So, yeah, like, it's if you put a puppy video on the internet, 5% of people are going to click dislike. Now think about those people. When you see people talk crap on the internet, and you go and you actually click one of them, and you look, they'll have a clown picture, or a frog picture, or a troll picture for a picture, literally. And then it will literally say in the description, troll, or like they'll just talk about what they're going to do. Like, these people know full well that they're creating an account to cause harm, and then they go and you look through their posts, and they do this to everybody. It's got nothing to do with you. You just happen to be there. This is a person that wants to generate harm in the world to try and feel special, try and feel important, because they're not feeling special and important somewhere else. And if they can cause enough strife and anguish for other people, it makes them feel like they're more. And so they go and do that to everybody. And you look through their post history and you're like, yeah, there's no one that will ever win an argument with this person, because they're not here to actually have a dedication to truth. They're here to cause harm. And there's millions of people on Twitter playing that game. And then you fall for it. You go in there and you try and have a conversation with someone who don't want to learn. You can't wake people up pretending to sleep. So, you know, if you come out and you're loud and people notice you exist, you're going to get hate. And then if you're cocky, now yeah, I earned it, but you know, people are they're gonna try and take the other side, you know, to try and clout chase you. Because if they can create conflict with you and then you engage with them, they win. So I do this. Like, I'm like, hey, Peter Schiff, bitch, what's up? Why are you a financial terrorist? So I try to be nice to him. He don't want to talk. I want to save his people. His people to follow his advice or get destroyed. I want to try and save his people. The only way I can save his people, they know I exist. So what's the best way to get them to notice me? Clout chase him, right? Hey man, why are you getting everyone wrecked? Be nice, it don't work. So I just keep escalating. I'm like, all right, well, then I'll just be meaner to you. Maybe that works, because the other one wasn't.
It's interesting that those people like gold and silver, I'm also coming from there, right? But I made the transition very early to crypto, but they never made it.
But here's the thing, like Vitalik, people call him a scammer. He ain't dressing fancy. He ain't driving a Ferrari. What's he doing, right? He's a billionaire on paper. But he still gets hate too. So there's enough hate to go around. There's enough hate to go around. You're going to get hated no matter what tactic you take as well, right? So if you could do any crypto founder, for the most part, is going to get their fair share of hate. I don't know why. I mean, I have ideas, but it's in the game. I don't mind it because I gain from it, right? You hear about me, you hate me, I suck. Can you sell? Price? No, you didn't buy. You can't sell. But there's some portion of people that can, and they will participate, and they will be saved, and they will learn, and they will have a good time. And so it's an asymmetrically good thing to be noticed, because some people can participate.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I choose to endure those slings and arrows. It's better. It works for me.
I think it's one way to.
I was gonna endure them anyway without the riches. So let's endure them with the riches.
Yeah.
You know, like I was getting hated before I bought too much expensive crap. Now I'm getting hated with the expensive crap. Now I just have more crap.
Right? So that's
right. No one's punching me through the screen. You can turn your head. You can just be like, oh look, there's no more digital violence. I turned my head. Now the screen's over here. It's not hitting me. Yeah. But go ahead. Like that top. It's nice looking.
Thank you. I just come down I just finished work.
It looks. I love your top, dude. That looks good. Real nice.
So my question is, I started HEX getting to 2 years now.
Nice.
So thanks a lot.
My pleasure.
I'm using a new car because of HEX.
What do you got? What are you driving?
I'm driving the Nissan Juke.
Nice. Hey, it's a nice car. You fit a lot in there.
Best to come and see, but my friends said they are coming, but I didn't see them.
All right. Well, welcome. Welcome.
And I would like to take a picture.
Yes, please. Come have a picture. Let's not. Sorry. I have a feeling that there's going to be a lot more. My pleasure. Where are you from? Nigeria. Welcome. Long flight? It's probably. Anybody else got any questions?
My question is, you know, people are saying when the post is coming out, that many people are going to sell their hairs because of it. And I'm trying to tell them, because me, I'm a kind of person, the first time I saw a video, I believe in you, understand, and reality, understand. And I never see it, that's how I see it. So I mean, I was trying to tell them that me, what I believe in HEX, that closed chain is like a chain that will make HEX to rise according to what we are saying in the future. You understand?
Well, it's cheaper to Unramp.
Yeah.
You don't got to pay $75 penalty on Uniswap to get in, so that's nice.
And second, I told them that why the closed chain is coming out to help the ones that didn't meet up with the HEX. Because when we started HEX, I know how much we bought HEX.
People went in the second good thing, maybe, yeah.
And they also said this, you are like I don't know. You are like a gifted somebody, you are gifted because you came to help people in the world.
I try.
Because you don't come because of yourself, but you came to like you are.
I could sit at home if I wanted to.
You are in America, but we are here and we are also getting something. Like I'm working, I cannot get 10,000 in a month.
Sure.
But since I started, I spend 11,000 X, but I'm getting up to 500,000.
Yeah, I know you, man.
I'm so happy.
So. My opinion on this is dips are in the game. HEX has dipped 75, 80%, 5, 6, 7 times. That's usually, every single time has been a buying opportunity. So if there's dips in the future, who cares, right? Like as long as you keep making new all-time highs and you're unwrapping new users, dips are just kind of opportunities, right? Depends on your time frame. Like if you have to sell in a dip, well sucks for you, right? So I mean, it would be great to live in a world without dips, but we don't. Everything dips. The S&P 500 dips. Everything dips. Gold dips. The dollar dips. The euro dips. It's in the game.
Because me, I take some 10 years time because I believe in you. I say
don't believe in me, man. What am I gonna do? I can't.
What I'm saying, I believe in your project.
Sure. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying because I've been in crypto
Yeah.
before I started with yours. You know,
Right.
I was in they call it goat coin in Deutschland.
Goat coin?
Goat coin. You know, that was 4 years ago. You understand? I lost a lot of my money.
I bet.
You
I
understand?
bet, dude.
So what I did, I changed some of the goat coin. I changed it to Ethereum. Then I started with HEX. And since I started HEX, you know,
Oh,
I've been seeing even I got married to a Swiss lady. You know,
Yeah, yeah.
even my in-laws, all of them are into HEX because
Right.
of me. You know.
nice.
So I was surprised. Say, how can a black man be in Switzerland and show them the way?
So you did. So
yeah.
we've outperformed goat coin, man.
Yeah, I showed
Excellent.
them the way. The coin was 10 cents when it started. Now it's almost 40 something cents. You
Yeah.
know, and they were very much happy. I say, yeah, it's because of
A lot of people, a penny was
You
a dream.
know?
A lot of people, a dream was a penny. How's it going back there?
so I'm happy.
Doing
for
good?
them.
Yeah, you want something to drink?
I'm all right, man. I'm cool. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yeah, well, congrats. So what should we do now? I don't know. I mean, should we all take pictures? Maybe we should take a group picture.
Yeah.
Let's take a group picture.
Pictures.
And then maybe we could take individuals in front of this cool looking statue.
Okay.
I hope the light's good.
Yeah.
So let's do the group one. We're gonna have to move this big table. It's too clunky out there, bro. Because everyone's gonna have to check past COVID guy again. Yeah. And then I'm not. This isn't because this is
When have you even get
actually, last Warsaw. Somebody gave me the.
I come from Warsaw.
Oh, there you go. This is the second Warsaw guy. The book.
I have on your book ski life, like 40 miles. I thought I may enjoy this. By the way, it was fun to audit
You sound like
HEX.
you might be a little eager. What language is
Polish English.
You don't speak Hebrew.
No, I don't.
My accent detection is broken.
No one gets that I come from Poland. Because I have too long, I feel like 10 years ago.
Already has. I'm going to his house in November for 3 days.
It was fun to audit with HEX.
So he's on camera. I think I'm going to get him on
Bro,
camera.
I messaged you on Twitter today, but you probably didn't see it.
No, nothing from that.
Well, yeah, I literally messaged you today.
I don't have Twitter here.
I know. Let me show you. I messaged. Okay.
As a message. As a private message.
In November, I'm taking a different billionaire to his house.
Especially the Stylized audience.
Yeah. Now I see it. I was working all day. I just checked without.
Yeah, I sent you a message. Because I wanted to respond to your emails too.
I know. Would you have advice for people who have idea when you buy centralized exchanges? I'll check it out. Mix benefits of both centralized and centralized.
They're already doing it. Peter is already doing that. So his company
I know
Peter
Peter.
is doing it.
Yeah,
But
but
he's
I
doing
have,
that exactly.
we have different idea.
Yeah, but mixing AMM and CDX, I already talked about out front here earlier today. So
And
we
we
already,
have different idea.
when I make an AMM, when I make a SEX, it's gonna have AMM component as well.
Have idea to.
It's all regulatory, man. You're gonna have the problem with
I
regulatory.
know. But to address problem that Mt. Gox and other exchanges, for example,
Message me. Message me.
nice
Nice watch, bro. I don't know who makes it, but it looks cool.
Huh?
It looks good.
Let's first do the group picture. Let's get that out of the way.
Let's have a group photo. Let's all line up here. Let's do that way.
Line up this way, looking at you.
We can't all fit in there, though. We don't have a wide enough lens. Oh, yeah. He's right. We're gonna line up here.
What's your
in front
YouTube
of this
name
door
again?
facing that way.
Kryptosparbuch.
And then somebody with a camera. You go over there.
You can notice
I'm
it.
trying to be in the center of this. Last time I was literally lost coming down. Like messed that up. Yeah, right? Still, we're still, so it's fine.
From what they make from here, right?
Is everybody good in here?
Mark, you're actually the photographer.
You're the, I hope you get a good picture.
I created the frame. Yeah, to do it with. Maybe your phone is better, like the iPhone with a wide angle.
Benny, wir können stitchen noch. Wir können stitchen noch.
Well, I hope that it works, bro. I'm not risking, I'll take one with
Thank you.
you.
Do it with a better camera.
I gotta see. You gotta see actually that thing.
How wide is your lens?
45.
What camera is it?
35, sorry.
What camera is it? APS-C?
Yeah, no, 7S.
Take the picture.
Yeah, but what, are you on wide then? Or are you in crop mode? Let me just
No, I should be.
You're not going to switch that, right?
No, it's, you know,
It's not gonna.
Richard,
Can't stop it. You're stand here, up and down. Yeah.
Mit dem Hacking geht's.
Yeah, this is wide. 35. It should be wide enough. So I'm just going to switch your. I'm going to switch your picture quality up a little bit. Image quality. We're going to take this to. Why is it only 10 megapixels, bro? Oh, the A7S is the video camera one. Alright,
Yes.
hold up.
So there's a bunch of different.
If we go with the lows, anti-copy to get it, so no, it's not could be.
So what if Richard takes the photo? I have every lens known to man, but they're upstairs, and I don't want to wait.
Yeah, let's
try
try.
the camera.
Let's try.
Let me
If
try
you
it.
have the wide angle,
Somebody has like the iPhone Pro with the
I have the
super
iPhone
wide.
Pro. Want to switch?
I should settings on
the 12 max.
I'm like the super, you don't even need the wide.
yeah, get Richard's one. And he has it, so we do it with yours.
Alright, good. Good enough.
Dusche noch. Okay, war cool, ja.
Everybody say cheese.
Shut up.
Everybody say hex. Armando's got the good lens over there, man. Armando, switch it, bro. Switch it. He's got a 24 millimeter on his right. Go wide.
Ben, go
You gotta zoom
get
out.
in there, get in there.
You gotta zoom out.
He's making
You zoomed out?
Yeah.
Alright. Go ahead, hold the trigger, bro. It's fine.
This is to the right on the camera, right?
Can you switch
I went to the right. Oh yeah.
To the right.
To the right. This way.
No.
To the moon.
It's not wide enough, just take one. Just use your camera.
He's on it. You got it.
Up and to the right now?
Yeah, it's not wide enough. Just sorry, guys on the left and on the right.
Just a minute.
Thanks, bro.
This is worth the time. Yeah.
One more picture.
Yes.
That one took
Murder us with it.
Oh, that took 3 years.
So we did it up.
Yeah, let's do the up and to the right.
Where is the there? The camera. This is left.
Alright. Good stuff. Alright. I'm just gonna check it to make sure it's alright. Sorry.
It's already
Yeah, you did great. Thank you so much for that.
Where
So you need to charge this? It's USB-C. USB-C.
I tried to make it on like a very
Sure. Well, you know what? We should just switch back and forth. That's one cool one. You did it right. All right. It's fine. Next time. Yeah, so I'll take individual pictures with people who want solo ones. And this will be my life for the next 15 minutes. Let's do this. Let me look out the window to see. You know what? I've done selfies in front of the car. You never see the car, bro. You never see it. Let's do. I'll do individual selfies in front of this naked.
Everybody is excited.